Coming up, Sarah's got a kitty cam. We've got the Clip and the Flip. The twins review red notebooks. And it's time to watch before you buy.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for Before You Buy is brought to you by Cashfly at CACHEFLY.com.
Before You Buy is brought to you by Smart Things, the easiest and most affordable way to create a smart home. Protect and control your home from anywhere with no contracts or monthly fees. For 10% off any home security kit, visit smartthings.com/twit and use the code TWIT10 at checkout. And by Naturebox, where you can order great tasting healthy snacks delivered right to your door. Forget the vending machine and get in shape with healthy, delicious treats like whole wheat apple pie figgy bars. To get 50% off your first box, go to naturebox.com/twit. That's naturebox.com/twit. Whoa. Hey, welcome to Before You Buy, the Twit product review show where we get some of the latest and greatest gear and gadgets and give it to our staff to get a real-world experience of what it'd be like to actually own that product. And then we tell you, buy, try, or don't buy. And we are unequivocal. We are adamant. We know what we like and what we don't like. We thought, we got this new camera, the Swann camera, and we thought there's no better person to review a camera than Sarah and her kitties. Sarah Lane has this report.
Hello everybody, Sarah Lane from Twit here, and I was tasked with a pretty cool product for Before You Buy because I have two kitties at home and I like to know how they're doing when I'm not around because they're indoor only, so why not test out a little home security system? What this product is, it's made by Swann Security. They run the gamut on products as far as buying just a little surveillance camera to an all-in-one system. That's what I got. I got the wireless system. So it's a combination of a camera that you mount somewhere that you want to monitor. And then it comes with its own, it's basically like a tablet, and that is sort of the interface where you set up everything from. The camera itself, just a camera. All of the wireless activity is configured through this Swann tablet itself, and that stays in your house as well. That confused me a little bit at first because I thought, well, what is this? I've got a camera, and do I take this tablet with me? The tablet has to stay in the house. How is that helping anybody? So I happen to live in a pretty small apartment. I mean, I've got my camera set up, kind of looking into the apartment, and I'm pretty much looking at the whole thing, besides the fact that you can't really see my upstairs level that far. What this is designed to do, though, is to monitor up to 4 different areas in a larger estate. I will say that setting it up was kind of a pain. My little Swann tablet here that I mentioned is running some very odd version of Windows, and it's a touch screen, but it doesn't really work that well. You kind of have to really touch it. You know, the T sort of stuck here and there. And it was a little bit of touch and go getting my wireless network to see my camera. Once it did, though, it was smooth sailing from there, and I could pretty much put my camera anywhere. Here's the thing, though. I am now looking at what is a live video version of my house at this time, which is, I'm looking at, I set the date, I set the time, and so, yeah, we're fine. But I'm noticing that the seconds are skipping a little bit, and that's because my wireless network is not connecting to my hub all that beautifully. Part of the reason might be because when I was lifting up my little wireless antenna on either side of it, which are important for the signal, one of them almost broke off because I didn't realize how fragile that they were. Again, that's a bit of a user error, but just something to consider. What's really great is that I am running a version of my home view on my iPhone and my iPad. I wanted to try them both out. It's technically just an iPhone app, but it runs on the iPad pretty nicely. Down on the bottom, this is where I can choose to take a photo, maybe of something that I see. I can choose to zoom in or zoom out on the camera, or even change the aperture size. I can record a video of something. I can turn on or off the sound. they can't hear me, my cats, which would be kind of funny because if I were able to yell at them, they'd come running down the stairs. I know that they're sleeping under the bed right now, but I could hear them if there was some action. So it's sort of nice to be able to have this going on 2 different systems, but the app is slightly janky. I definitely, on the iPad app itself, particularly because it's running an iPhone app, it looks pretty good when you blow it up to full screen, but every once in a while, the camera doesn't want to connect and I have to restart the app. It's never really failed me for more than 30 seconds at a time, but you would like something a little bit nicer. What is nice is the image. The image is crystal clear. We're looking at my house, about 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I've got a lot of windows, besides a little bit of light being blown out in the back. I think it looks pretty crisp. I've seen other surveillance systems. Drop cam is one where the images are okay, but they're a little grainier. This is a very nice camera. And here's the best part. We're not looking at this at night, but there are infrared sensors in the camera itself. So at night, if I were to check in with my cats, let's say I'm in Europe, it's midday, but it's midnight, I would be able to see my apartment almost just as well, at least well enough to be able to know what's going on. So this is a pretty nice system. I would say the pros are the image is great. It's fairly easy to check in, to use the apps, and I can take photos and videos and toggle on and off audio. The cons, it was a B word to set up. I thought it was cumbersome. The manual walks you through it, but if I was less well versed in technology, I think that it would really confuse me. My mom would probably have a hard time with this, let's just say, and she's not an idiot either. The other thing is the apps seem a little bit janky. They're kind of, they seem a little wonky here and there. And I think it's a little bit odd that you've got your little Swann tablet that's supposed to monitor everything that you need to keep in your house. Again, this is probably for somebody, if you are LeBron James and you're on the 4th story of your huge mansion and you've got your little tablet here because you want to make sure that you can see who's at the front door before you buzz them in, makes perfect sense to me. Otherwise, I don't really know what to do with this thing because all I really want to do is monitor my house on my app. Overall, though, I know I have to make a decision. So I think I'm going to say buy. It's a good product. The camera's nice. If you like quality, it's pretty solid, and you do have a lot of options. I think that the pros outweigh the cons in this case. So that's a secure kitty cam buy from me. I'm Sarah Lane. Thanks everybody for watching, and for everyone at Before You Buy, be secure.
Oh, the little kitties liked it. Thank you, Sarah Lane. Sarah, boy, it's hard to, I don't have enough time in the show to run down all the things she does. Host of Tech News Tonight, Monday through Thursday on this network, our evening news show at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Host of iPad Today with me, and on Mondays at 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. Host of i5 for the iPhone at times unknown, Wednesday afternoon. Something like that. and a longtime friend, a good friend. Hey, thank you, Sarah. Oh, I forgot the social hour. And the social hour with Amber MacArthur. She's a busy, busy woman. Now we thought we'd get Tanya Hall, our newest host on the Twit Network, to take a look at a couple of Bluetooth speakers from JBL, the Clip and the Flip. Watch.
Hi, I'm Tanya Hall, and I host Marketing Mavericks, and I am going to review 2 Bluetooth speakers by JBL today. The first speaker that I'm going to review is actually the JBL Flip 2. It is the second version of the Flip, and it comes in a nice leather carrying case. Comes in a variety of colors. This one is a beautiful bright yellow. It does come with a wall charger and a cable. The charge time was about 3 hours for the speaker, and the battery time, once you start playing, it does vary depending on how loud the volume is, but it ranged between 4 to 5 hours. The cool thing too here is that you can actually play it on its side, or you can flip it and stand it up. It does have one thing that I really like is the speakerphone capability. It also has, of course, the power on and off, and then the Bluetooth adaptability right there. So It is definitely great for a party. So if you have friends over and you're having a party outside, you want to carry your phone around and listen to music, you've got roughly 4 to 5 hours of music time. Right here, it has an ability to tell you how much it's charged, which is full right here. So it has an audio input and a place where you can, of course, charge USB, which most of us have the ability to do that. I really did like this speaker. And again, it does come in a variety of colors. So if yellow is not your color, it certainly comes in black and some other colors. The pros would be that it's got great sound quality. I like the volume a lot. I like the fact that you can flip it and put it into a different position. And it does have, even better yet, the speaker phone capability. The cons would be the battery life. I thought it could probably be a little bit longer because if you listen to it really loud, you're going to have less battery life. And the other thing that I didn't like, which would probably be really easy for JBL to fix, is that the chargers don't fit in this nice little case. They could probably, even if you just wanted to put the cord in here, they could probably extend the case just a little bit more and you're going to get all the other things in here. But outside of that, I really did like it. And I think that, you know, I would recommend it as a buy for sure. So the next speaker I have from JBL is the Clip, which is actually something I really liked. It's actually the successor to the Micro, which is very similar. There's only a couple of different changes, and they're really good ones. It's got a built-in integrated carabiner, which the original Micro did not, which is probably one of my favorites. You can see that there. It's also got a built-in microphone, so you can actually clip it to, I don't know, your backpack or your beach bag or whatever, and use this with your phone as a speaker. Right here, there's your phone, there's your power, and then your Bluetooth accessibility. It's got a metal mesh, which actually can get scratched up because unlike the Micro, this one actually doesn't have like a little carrying case or a bag that comes with it, which I think would be handy because it is easy to kind of throw in your bag and get scratched up or rubs up against things. And it also has something else that I really like. So it's got a rubber ring here that if you want to set it down, will keep it from moving. If you can see that, which is kind of nice. I really like this cable right here, wraps around. It's really handy, and you actually might actually need it. And instead of having to worry about having one, you can just use it. It's really like just built in, so it's awesome. It's very, very lightweight. I would say it probably weighs about the same as my phone, which I was kind of surprised. I thought it would actually weigh a little bit more than that. It's got a pretty good battery life. It's about 5 hours, which is great. It's about I don't know if you could tell, it's about 4 inches tall. It's about 2 inches deep. And I don't know, I was really impressed by this. I was really impressed by the sound. It's much softer in sound, of course, considering the size, than the Flip. It's much softer, but if you're, like I said, using it as a potential Bluetooth speaker for your phone, it's perfect. It does come in a variety of colors. So if you want to be very fashionable, you can absolutely do that. I would say the pros are the built-in carabiner, which I talked about, which probably is actually my favorite. The integrated cord, which stores at the very bottom, and the speakerphone capability. Those things I really liked. Actually, also really like the soft rubber around it. The con would be that there isn't a case or something that you can put it in when it's not in use, so it doesn't get scratched if you throw it in your purse or your bag or whatever. And the price is $50. So that's not a horrible con, but it isn't as cheap as maybe some other speakers in its size, although the quality is so great. I would say for the JBL Clip, I give it a buy. At $50 for the Clip and at $100 for the Flip 2. Like I said, both are a buy. This is Tanya Hall with Before You Buy.
The Clip and the Flip. Thank you, Tanya Hall. Tanya is, of course, the host of Marketing Mavericks. I'm trying to reach for our next product. It's now Thursdays. When is Marketing Mavericks? Tuesdays?
Mondays.
Mondays early morning, 8:30 a.m. Tuesday. Nobody
just
knows.
Tune in.
Tune in all the
it
time,
will be
and you'll
on
see
at
it. That's
some
Chad
point.
Johnson. and he's coming up in just a bit to review a redhead a notebook that matches his hair. But before we do that, can I mention these smart things? This is so cool. Home automation has been almost the holy grail of gadget hounds for 20 years. And finally, there's a solution that communicates with your smartphone and the devices in your home, a hub that can speak to everything and comes with a variety of additional little units that can add motion detection, temperature sensing, accelerometer, can help you find things if they're lost. You can attach this tag to your dog and know when he leaves home. I'm talking about smart things, and it all begins with this, the Smart Things Hub. The Smart Things Hub will talk to not only all the Smart Things units, but also your Hue, your Sonos. It works with GE, Schlage, the great Schlage locks, the Honeywell and Eon, the Nest thermostat, the Wemo, the Sonos. I think this is just a great idea. Smartthings.com/twit. You're going to get 10% off your first home security kit. Let me talk a little bit about what the kits are. There's 3 different levels. Starting at $329, that's the basic kit. Includes this Smart Things Hub, a Smart Things motion sensor, and you could put that anywhere in the house and do all sorts of things. The motion sensor will see you walk in a door, for instance, see you come in the garage. It can see you leave the house. So that can plug in. It's very simple. Talks to the Smart Things Hub. The beauty of this is how easy it is to configure it all. If you've ever done or tried to do home automation, so complicated. All you do is you get your Smart Things kit, you download the app on your iPhone or your Android phone, and then you connect your home. And to pair up a new device, you just pull the tab out of the back of the device, and it wakes up. I'm not going to do that because we're not ready to set it up. It wakes up, and you pair it with your hub, and then it's on the network. So with the basic kit, you get the hub, a motion sensor, a presence sensor, and this multi-sense sensor. In fact, I've got the basic kit really all right here. I love the multi-sense sensor. It can sense when things open or close. It can sense when something moves, but it can also know the temperature in a room or an area. It's got an accelerometer in it. It can detect vibration. I mean, the neat thing about this is that you can then start to use your imagination at integrating all this throughout your house. If you want to take a step up from, you get 3 of these multi-sense sensors, by the way. If you want to step up to the $479 smarter home security kit, you're going to add a motion sensor, a smart power outlet, and the Siren strobe alarm. And for $599, the smartest home security kit includes all of the above, plus an extra presence sensor power outlet and an outdoor light plug and control power outlet. There is no simpler, easier way to create a smart home and to grow your smart home as time goes by. They've really solved all these issues of interconnection, interoperation. Smartthings.com/twit. There's the hub. That's how simple it is. Ethernet, USB. That's it. Very simple. Smartthings.com/twit. And use the offer code TWIT10 to get 10% off the purchase of any of these home security kits on checkout. That could be as much as $60 off at smartthings.com/twit. All right, moving right along to our next segment, we've got the redheads. Chad and his brother Patrick.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Chad.
Long time no see.
Many people don't realize they're identical twins.
Yeah. Yeah, we're so identical that when I was given this laptop to review, I reviewed it for about a week and then found out he's had it for a month.
He's the owner of this laptop.
I actually own this one.
He owns it.
So let me
should have
explain.
watched before he bought it.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. There may be a divergence of opinion here. So Chad Johnson produces Twit and Mac Break Weekly this week in Google, but also hosts his own shows, OMG Craft, the Minecraft show that we do that is growing bigger all the time.
Yep.
Taking off.
Yep.
What is the YouTube channel? YouTube.com?
YouTube.com/OMGcraft.
OMG Craft. And of course the new show Read It Up, which is just about to launch.
Gizwiz.
Gizwiz. He's my successor.
Yep.
Doing a great job on that
Thanks.
too. I like the inflatables.
Next month is Drinkables.
Good. Theme month.
We do that.
Patrick Delahanty, in-house programmer.
Yes.
Newly engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you. And
luck.
I'm on Coding 101 for the next 6 more weeks
With
Perl.
Oh, you're going to do Perl.
Yeah.
So did you start
2
with
weeks in.
Perl? Because we don't use Perl here.
Perl's not the first language I used,
Oh,
but
okay.
I learned it I don't know, 15,
Yeah, I did a lot
ago.
of Perl maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But it's a very interesting language. The creator of Perl, Larry Wall's motto is "There's more than one way to do it."
Yeah.
Which is different from most languages. They want to have kind of one common way to do it. This, you can do it any way you want.
Yeah.
Well, that's a philosophy. So let's talk about this. This is the HP Student Pavilion.
Right. This is the Pavilion x360. This is they're calling it like a Transformers type of laptop because its main feature is that it has a hinge that can flip all the way around, and so you can use it as I have mine plugged in here. You can use it as a tablet. You can use it in various positions. You can put it, you can flip it back over if you need it to be more sturdy, that sort of stuff. When you have it flipped over, the keyboard does turn off. I mean,
what happened? You just lost your hair.
We're not related. What? Oh, no.
You fooled me.
Oh, no. So this is a sort of starter budget laptop.
Well, it's interesting because the case is unabashedly plastic.
Oh yeah.
It's almost vinyl.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It comes in two colors, gray and red.
Yeah.
And
I'm
it's
glad you got the red.
Sort of a soft touch plastic.
Yeah.
It does have feet at the bottom.
Mine's already scratched up a bit.
Oh, that's too bad because one of the things
for a while.
I would assume about that plastic is it'd be more robust than say a metal or maybe a more shinier plastic.
My initial reaction was this is a very sturdy machine that I didn't mind tossing it in the back of my car.
Oh, yeah.
It could run around in a backpack. I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Windows 8?
Windows 8.1, yep.
Touch?
The screen is touch enabled. I can't log in here, but yeah, it is touch enabled.
It didn't, I gotta say, it looked a little washed out.
It's very washed out.
Yeah.
So the screen is not my favorite part of this computer. It's washed out. It's very low resolution.
What is it? 1366 by 768?
Yep,
Right.
1366 by 768. It's 11.6 inches across.
So this is low end. We're talking an inexpensive notebook.
It starts at $409 for the red version, and then it's around $399 for the gray version. It does cost a little bit extra to get the red.
Fairly responsive?
Fairly responsive, I would say.
Patrick, Patrick bought this. What was it about that you bought it for?
Well, I bought it because it was cheap.
Yeah.
And I did a trade-in for an XP laptop at Best Buy, and they gave me $100. So I just
really
wanted something really cheap.
$300.
Just something that I could put Windows on.
Right. And this is your personal computer.
Yes. It's not my primary, not by a long shot.
So you use it more for travel?
Yeah. I brought it to Maine with me the last week, and so it was handy to just throw in a bag and bring with me. But I almost didn't get to bring it to Maine because the hard drive failed on me after I had it for the first month.
Good. All right.
And so they took it back, replaced it.
Well, that's
it for
2 weeks.
It's not a solid straight
something
drive.
I should point out, though, it is a spinning drive. It's cheap.
Yeah.
But something I should point out, all computers have failures.
Right.
The real test of how good the computer is how well the company responds to it, and if they fix it right away. It sounds like they did.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
Yeah, it took 2 weeks to get it back.
Yeah.
But it's.
But they didn't give you a hard time. They said no problem.
No. They said, oh yeah, that shouldn't have happened.
Okay, good.
Took it right back.
I like that. And HP is a big company. I'd expect that.
Oh yeah.
Right. So to run down the specs, there's an Intel Pentium processor in here. It's a N3520 or 3520.
Intel really muddies the water.
Yeah, I don't know how they
brought back the Celeron name. They brought back the Pentium name.
Yeah, and when I was comparing, it was hard because
you don't know.
They're all different.
And I think that's their intent.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that it's not. There's no obvious way to compare. They don't want you to know that, do they? Yeah.
Right. My model has 8 gigabytes of RAM.
Oh, that's a lot.
Do you know how much yours has?
Too,
yeah. It was funny because I was reading other reviews and they said 4, and so it seems like they were sending this laptop out before with 4. So they doubled the memory. I don't know if that's recently or not. It does not have 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so it doesn't have it doesn't have
802.11 BGN.
N, yes, but not 5
AC
gigahertz
and not dual band.
Right. There are speakers it claims that this is part of their Beats audio line, so hooray for that. The speakers are at the bottom.
As you may know, HP did a deal with Beats, which runs through the
basically it adds
an
equalizer to preferences,
that's exactly
and that's
what
about
it.
It's funny because I hadn't originally found out where the speakers were, and I was confused as to why it sounded better whenever I flipped it into the tablet mode instead of the other one is because, yeah, they're on the bottom of the device.
Oh, dear.
The speakers are down here. Yeah. So that was confusing at first.
We don't call that on the bottom. We call that downward firing.
Downward firing?
Yes.
Is a downward firing keyboard.
Doesn't that sound better? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Let me think. Here, let me
let's do pros and cons.
Okay, so pros are that it does have a lot of ports on the side. It has 3 USB ports, an HDMI port, an Ethernet port, and an SD card slot.
Yes.
I really appreciated that. For the what else? It's durable. I felt like I could throw this in the back of a car or a backpack, and I wouldn't be too worried. And finally, I like the folding design that it folds over. And
cons.
The screen.
Oh, it's terrible.
The screen's really bad.
The viewing angles.
Yeah, if you can take an over-the-shoulder shot of the viewing angle of this.
Yeah. And for a tablet, I can't.
Well, I saw how washed out it was, and I thought, boy, that's kind of surprising.
Yeah, it's there we go, finally. So yeah, viewing angles are really bad.
It's a low. That's where they saved money.
A very low
But you know, this
resolution.
isn't so inexpensive that you're still paying $400.
There's other things on the market.
Yeah.
The trackpad, I was super frustrated with. It doesn't have a secondary right click, but there's still a right click area. So if you're moving your thumb across and you click, you're going to right click without knowing, because there's no definition between where you should click.
How's the keyboard?
Keyboard's okay.
Yeah, I do like the keyboard.
Fine. Yeah, I like the keyboard. And then finally, bloatware. Would you like me to list off?
HP's notorious. HP is notorious.
So, Box, Wild, Tangled Games, Kindle, McAfee Central, HP Connect Photo, HP Connect Drive, UCam, Word, Augment, Fresh Paint. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. That's an alphabetical order. Like,
you're just to F.
Yeah, no,
I still haven't
seriously.
managed to delete everything off of this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's absurd how much bloatware is on this computer. So that's my other con.
Buy, try, don't buy.
3, 2, 1, don't buy.
Now that's interesting because I was going to give Patrick a chance to rebut your review and add anything, and it sounds like you agree, and you've been using it for a few months now.
Yeah, I've had it for about a month.
Do you regret it?
But I didn't have it for that 2 weeks.
Oh, you only had it for 2 weeks, really? Yeah.
I don't regret it because I did get $100 off.
So inexpensive.
And it's fine, but
understand what you're getting.
Yeah.
Right.
And for a student, do you think this would be a good choice? You know, somebody in 9th grade?
The only thing I could see doing with this is checking Facebook and writing articles.
Yeah,
or
you can browse the web and stuff.
Right.
But and you can watch Netflix.
But even watching YouTube, the default player, which is normally what I associate as the smallest player, fills up the whole screen because of the low resolution.
Yeah. Right. All right, don't buy. This is tell me the model again, the HP.
The HP Pavilion 11 X360.
All right, open your mouth because you get a snack.
Oh, hooray! You don't want to give them to us, do you?
No, this is okay, I'm going to give you a choice. You can have and you each get one.
Okay.
It's Naturebox time, and we do this to the staff every day around this time. Cranberry almond bites.
They ring a bell.
Lone Star snack mix.
Okay.
Cocoa waffle wafers.
God,
these are just a few of the hundreds of choices.
Yeah.
Santa Fe corn sticks.
I'm
Which
gonna
would you
take your
like?
cocoa waffle wafers.
Cocoa waffle
wafers.
You want to share those?
Yeah.
Or do you want your
good.
own? You can have your own.
Well, what else is there?
Lone Star snack mix. Santa Fe corn sticks. Cranberry almond bites.
Corn sticks sound good.
These are good too. This box is kind of dwindling, I have to say. That's one of the problems. Naturebox are great snacks delivered to your door, perfect for a dorm room, for an office, or just if you want to kind of encourage yourself to eat healthy snacks. And I mean it when I say healthy. They're all nutritionist approved. No high fructose corn syrup in any of the hundreds of snacks at naturebox.com. No HFCs, no GMOs. No artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, no trans fats, and really unusual, unique snacks that are always delicious. Nutritionists even say that having a small snack is a good idea to kind of keep from getting ravenous before a meal.
And overeating.
And overeating, exactly. So these are fabulous. Here's the deal. If you go to naturebox.com/twit, we're going to get you 50% off your first box. Just use the offer code TWIT, half off, is a great deal. And they know that if you get, you know, that you would want to taste these. You can get a random box, or you can specify no GM, I don't want GMOs, or I'm gluten conscious, or no soy, no nuts, your choice. You can also, if you choose, specify flavor style. You can get sweet, spicy, or savory. I think it's a great idea to mix it up a little bit. Get as many different flavors as you can. I just think they're fabulous. 3 sizes. You get it monthly, delivered to your door, naturebox.com/twit. And don't forget the offer code, TWIT. Are you going to store those snacks in your cheeks like a little chipmunk for later?
I think this is my new favorite.
This is really good, the Santa Fe corn chips.
All right.
Yeah.
They have a nice zest to them.
All right, so I, as you know, have tried, and as you have, in fact, you've got my hand-me-down.
I love your Pebble.
I have tried every smartwatch on the market, every health band on the market. I really make a point of trying these because I do feel like this is a category that is about to explode. And a lot of people say, well, we're just waiting to see what Apple does. But this is already a second-generation product. This is Samsung's Gear 2 watch. Now, right up front, let's say it's $300 and it requires a Samsung Galaxy phone to use. So you're only going to be interested in this if you're in the Samsung ecosystem. You have a Galaxy 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a Note 3 I'm using it with. Then it pairs very easily. Samsung offers a special app to use with the Gear 2. So you'll install that first. It uses Bluetooth. I think it's probably Bluetooth LE because you get pretty good battery life. I could have gone a couple of 3 days. But what I always do is I always charge it. Now, a couple of things to talk about. First of all, they don't yet have a way to just plug the watch in. That's probably to save space on the watch. You still have to have, although much improved, this little tiny charger, and that uses a micro USB connector. So you just snap this on the back of the watch. And you know, you're going to get used to, on any of these watches, just charging it every night. The Pebble will go all week, so you can forget it. But the problem with something that goes all week is you forget it. And if you do it every night, then you do it every night. These are customizable faces. Here, let me turn it this way so you can see a little bit closer. This is a face I particularly like. It looks like a wristwatch. To save battery, this is a very, by the way, very high quality.
I was going to say, that looks like a very high definition.
Nice screen. Notice it goes off to save battery life, but when you lift the watch to look at what time it is, it automatically turns back on. So you don't get the sense that the watch is off all the time. It is a touch screen. They've really improved this in many ways. It's a touch screen that has a huge variety of choices. This is both a notification watch like the Pebble and a health watch. It has a pedometer, but you have to start the pedometer to use it. It has exercise. You can do other exercises and keep track of those as you're going. It doesn't have a GPS, but it will tie to the GPS in the phone. It will monitor your heart rate. It has a little kind of camera-like sensor on the back. But as with most watch-based heart rate monitors, it doesn't work when you're exercising very well. It's really for sitting down and checking your heart rate. You also have, and this is great, there's a speaker on here and a microphone. So you can talk to this watch. I'll show you that in a minute. Record a voice memo. Notice this, it works with your television. It has a remote control on your television. Oops, let's not use that yet. The Find My Device is great. If I've lost my phone, I can find my device and the phone will start making noise, and vice versa, by the way. I can use the Gear app on my phone to say, where's my watch? I can't find it. That's a nice feature. In fact, this is loaded with nice features. I can read notifications. So when a text message comes in, I can go into my messages and I can say, oh, I got a message from Lisa. Guess what? I sent this from my treadmill, says Lisa. You know, that was a response because I said, guess what? I sent this from my watch. Because, watch this, I've set up the button so that when I double press it, it goes into the text mode, the speech mode. Text Chad Johnson. Hey Chad, I'm talking to you from my watch. Woohoo! You can't really hear the voice very well, but it's kind of a robotic female voice. Let me put it up to the microphone.
I think that's going to be a long text.
Oh, no, it didn't.
It's going to be a really long text.
Here is your message.
Did you hear it's kind of robotic? Yes.
Woohoo! You can't really hear the voice.
Yeah. But notice it did a really good job.
That is actually really well.
And the watch is distant from me, right?
Yeah, you didn't have to speak too robotically for it to catch that last part of the sentence.
It is connected via Bluetooth to the phone. So if the phone is not near the watch continues to work, but it won't send this message until it's connected to the phone. Because remember, it's really about using the watch and the phone. They have improved the camera on this. The camera no longer is the pimple on the strap that it used to be. By the way, the strap also looks a little bit better than the previous straps. It comes in a variety of colors. There's the camera right here. So if I go into the camera app, actually, let's do that real quickly. You'll see the touch is, by the way, not super responsive, but okay. You'll see that it's taking a picture from this part of the camera right here. In fact, I have some sample pictures. I took this zip lining. This is a perfect example of why you'd want to use this camera. When you're zip lining, you can't really carry a camera. You're strapped in and so forth. So, not the greatest camera in the world. You see the colors are a little bit washed out. This is bright sunlight, but it worked all right. I mean, there's a sunset.
Oh, wow. That's
I mean, it's not, look, it's a camera on your wrist. It's very discreet. It's not super perfect. But you can do a lot of, you know, I mean, you can take pictures. You can even take pictures by saying, take a picture, and take videos by saying, shoot a video, record a video. So it's nice. It has the voice commands built into it.
Do you have to wake it up before you do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do. And you know, it's a little sluggish and so forth. You know, you saw that I had to kind of swipe it a little extra carefully to get the swipe. I've always had trouble with these kinds of wristbands, but you know, you'll get used to it. And one good thing about it, it's very secure. And it's not too horribly big. I mean, it looks roughly like the Pebble Watch does on your wrist. I think if you are already in the Samsung ecosystem, I'm not a big fan of the Fit because it doesn't do a lot of these things. The Gear 2 kind of does it all in a fairly attractive, I mean, I don't feel too dorky when I'm wearing this, package. I do love, you know, how convenient it is, and all the things that you can do with your Pebble, you can do with this. In fact, the only thing it doesn't do is that long battery life. In every other respect, it's as functional as a Pebble. You can program a huge number of different watch faces, and you can even download third-party watch faces, so you're never stuck with any particular look. I can change the background. I can even make the background be a picture that I've taken. There are a lot of clock faces. You notice I'm using the analog clock, but the digital clock is much more flexible, including a dual clock if you're in dual time zones, a clock that has calendar, your pedometer measurements, the weather, and so forth. So I think that's pretty nice. And like I said, there's an app store, and you can download more stuff. Let's go back to the Galaxy, I'm sorry, not Galaxy. I knew I'd call it the Galaxy. They've taken the name out. It's no longer Galaxy, it's just the Gear. Go back to the Gear Manager and see the broad variety of apps that are available on it. These are the apps that are installed, but you can install more. It's a very sophisticated watch. This is the Tizen, by the way, operating system. This is not Android or Android Wear. I'll just show you some of the additional clock faces you can install. I mean, you have a handful on the Pebble.
Well, now it, like when you had it, they hadn't come out with the newest version.
There are more, right?
There's a ton now.
Okay. All right, but are there?
And the apps is what I found is to be the most compelling thing because, like, I can check in via Foursquare.
Watch faces, 85. Oh,
do you want to compare watch faces?
Oh, you can check in. You can check in via. Let's see what social networking I can do here.
And then Music Boss is one of my favorites.
You can play music on this. It does have a little bit of memory. You can only take 50 images.
Right.
Mostly, it's going to be pulling from the phone.
You can't play music off the Pebble, but you can control your device, which is one of my favorite
So a Pac-Man game, I wouldn't recommend it, but you can do it.
Does it have Flappy Bird?
It has Dummy Fish, which is much like Flappy Bird. But no Flappy Bird yet, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. There's new stuff coming out all the time. And even some productivity stuff. Some of the people in the chat room say they use Evernote on their Gear. Certainly a lot of health and fitness apps. I find this great. I mean, the fact that they have, they've got an app store and it has so many things in it is a testament to the fact that this is a second generation. And given that it's a second generation, I have to say, it's a lot of refinement has gone into this watch. So let's go with the pros and cons. The pros, it's a good-looking screen with a great watch face, functional, battery life, pretty decent. The fact that it has a camera on it and a decent camera, voice, it will read you texts as well as let you dictate texts. a pedometer, a lot of the health things, and a very robust app store. These are all positives. It even looks okay given that it's, you know, a smart watch. The negative, really the biggest negatives are it's $300. That's pretty expensive, is among the most expensive smartwatches out there. And it requires a Galaxy phone. You have to be in the Samsung ecosystem to use it. But given all that, I have to say it's pretty good. I hate to give it a buy because I feel like this is a product in its infancy, but comparing it to all the other devices out there, I would say this is the one that you should buy. So the first time ever, I'm going to say a buy on a smartwatch. This is the Gear 2 from Samsung. I don't know if it's waterproof. It's probably water resistant, but you should check. I wouldn't take it diving. Let's put it this way. But if they let me have it for another week, I'll take it to Hawaii because that's where I'm headed. I will not be back next week. We'll find somebody else to host the show. I'm going to bring my GoPro. I'll bring this. I'll bring my cameras. And any gear they'll let me take with me, I will take with me. I want to thank all of our reviewers today. Patrick, thanks for sitting in with Chad Johnson, Tanya Hall from Marketing Mavericks, of course, Sarah Lane. Thank you for joining us. All our reviews are up on YouTube. In fact, individual reviews at youtube.com/beforeyoubuy. The full show is available from our Twit website, twit.tv/BYB, and wherever you get podcasts, iTunes, the Xbox Store, and places like that. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Before You Buy, and I hope you remember that before you buy, you gotta watch before you buy. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.